Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. For today, Ustaz, our group will presenting about the halal supply chain in cosmetic and personal care. And we go to the introduction. In halal industry, related to the cosmetics product and personal cares, the organization have the responsibility to protect the halal integrity along the supply chain. The scope of halal certification, the level of consumer and the assurance which is to cover and control aspects like halal committee and inspection. In the field of cosmetic supply chain, there is limited study especially in halal arena.
What is cosmetic and personal care? Cosmetic and personal care meaning based on the MPPHM means material and preparation made for contact with various outer layers of the body, for example like epidermis, hair, nail tips and external sexual organs, or on teeth and mucous channel in the mouth. The objective of the personal care is to clean, to perfume, to change appearance and to improve body odor and to protect them. And move to the definitions of the cosmetic. Cosmetic are products used to enhance or change the appearance of the face, fragrance or the texture of the body. Many cosmetics are designed for use of applying to the face and body. They are generally mixtures of chemical compounds derived from natural sources such as coconut oil or maybe synthetic or artificial. While personal care is a broad term used to refer to supporting with personal hygiene and toileting, along with dressing and maintaining your personal appearance, all is in the comfort of our own home. On to the types of cosmetic and personal care. We will go through one by one. First is types of cosmetic. For your information, cosmetic are need to be applied externally. It includes but are not limited to products that can be applied to the face only. On the other hand, cosmetic also known as makeup. Cosmetics that are meant to be used on the face and eye area are usually applied with a brush, a makeup sponge or the fingertip. Most cosmetics are distinguished by the area of the body intended for application. So there are several types of cosmetic, which is first is primer. Primer used as a base before apply the foundation. It is to prolong the makeup look and make sure the surface of face skin are smooth. And second type is lipstick. Lipstick is a mask to add color and texture to the lip and also comes with the different choices of color as well as finish in matte, setting and others. Third type of cosmetic is concealer. Concealer function is to cover the skin that are uneven tone. Concealer is used to cover the dark circle, blemish, and others. And the number 4 for the types of cosmetic is the eyeshadow. Eyeshadow is applied on the eyelids and under the eye. It is aimed to make the wearer look more attractive and outstanding. Next is types of personal care. Personal care is a person taking care about her personal matters without much thinking. It is because personal care is a routine in our life. For example, like we take care of our hair, keep our hygiene, maintain good body odor like always take a shower and also keep consuming healthy food. Personal care refers to anything that is done to take care of your body. The first type of personal care is hair care. Okay, as you know, especially a man, they want to look stylish because the hair is the important part to make a person look neat for men. A person needs to wash their hair at least 2 or 3 days a week using shampoo. Then is the oral care. Okay, we need to maintain oral care to avoid the production of bacteria in the mouth. This all starts with proper oral care, like brush the teeth 3 times daily, especially after eating. There may be something stuck in their teeth, and the fresh feeling after brush produces the calming and relaxation in the mouth. For example, using toothbrush and toothpaste to clean the mouth or the teeth. Third types of personal care is skincare. Skincare is important to maintain the skin. We need to make sure that every inch of our skin are properly absorbed by the right ingredients of skincare. We need to be alert if there are symptoms of redness and irritation that can affect human body and skin. And number 4 is bathing. The purpose of bathing is for personal hygiene. It means that bath to remove dirt from body or to achieve cleanliness by washing away dead skin cells and so on. Bathing is a preventative measure to reduce the incidence and spread of disease. For example, the product used for bathing like shower gel, cream and body wash. Then is the International Halal Cosmetic, which is Zahara from Singapore, Wardah Cosmetic from Indonesia, and Halal Cosmetic from South Korea. Zahara product from Singapore was founded by 2 sisters who decided to make their own halal cosmetic when they couldn't find any in the market. You can rest assured that Zahara products are created with practically and Muslim friendliness in mind. One of their most popular products today is the Oxygen Nail Polish, which is halal certified by the International Halal Integrity Alliance. Second is Wardah Cosmetic from Indonesia. Founder of Wardah Cosmetic is from Indonesian Iris Nur Hayati Subakat. Wardah is a hot-selling brand in Indonesia and takes pride in using halal raw material of the highest quality. They produce a multiple range of products including body care, skin care, hand care, makeup and fragrance. It promises to make women feel confident and inspired. And third is Halal Cosmetic from South Korea. If you have been wanting to try Korean beauty product but are concerned about the ingredient, this brand might be just what you need to feel every bit like a Korean beauty star. Halal Cosmetic has a long history dating back to 1980 when it was founded in Myeongdong. And this product has launched and worked with K-pop stars to become a global cosmetic brand. It launched a halal line in 2014 and becoming the first in Korea to obtain certification from Malaysia Halal Jakim for cosmetics. So these are the examples of local and international halal cosmetics. Next, examples of local and international halal cosmetics. As you know, there are so many brands of products of local halal cosmetics, so I just pick 3 in this video. First is Simplicity. Simplicity, founded by one of Malaysia's most beloved personalities, Datuk Seri. Simplicity has all our beauty needs covered with product ranging from skincare to makeup and even fragrance. Simplicity with a factory base in South Korea and product certified halal by Malaysia governing body Jakim. you can be assured that Simplicity is all but eager to produce the best and pure product for the market. Second, halal cosmetic product, local halal cosmetic product, which is named Noraisa. Noraisa, with only 500 in capital, 20 years old Nikah, Noraini Zulkifli, began her beauty business while bearing her first child. Starting off by selling collagen soap, her beauty line now encompassed a variety of makeup products and cosmetics, leading up to the millions in profit that she is making today. Nurasa product also halal certified and wuduk friendly. And third is Dark Cosmetic. Dark Cosmetic founder is Bibi Yusof, ventured into the beauty industry with Dark Cosmetic. Her fabulous line of product include shades of eye palette, lip cream, lip gloss, and lipstick. Not to mention that all their products are paraben free too. So, these are the products are safe for human or people to wear it.
Okay, now we move to raw materials. The elements of halal is practiced throughout the entire supply chain. A development of integrated halal integrity across the chain can give a big impact at the end of the products. This includes halal ingredients, halal certified manufacturer, procurement, and other examples as well. The few important elements for raw materials in halal supply chain for cosmetics and personal care, which is material safety and halal assurance. For material safety, in the cosmetic world, the material used in a cosmetic product is vital in the industry. Why? This is due to the awareness of consumers nowadays on the safety of the materials used in a cosmetic product. Safety is considered one of the principles that is required and met in producing halal cosmetics other than halal and quality. The ingredients were mostly chemicals and a mixture of other chemicals of synthetic origin or natural extracts. According to the Guidelines for Safety Assessment of Cosmetic Products 2017, the selection of the right materials and the usage degree of materials or other specifications that needs to be well monitored and recorded. There are a few prohibited ingredients listed in Annex 2 and Annex 3, which will be presented by a friend of mine. So the other critical ingredients that we know is paraben, mercury, and artificial fragrances. For halal assurance, ingredients should also be halal certified according to the standards and other legal sources such as MBPHM and Malaysian Standard for Islamic Consumer Goods Part 1, which is for cosmetics and personal care. For halal assurance, ingredients should also be halal certified according to the standards and other legal sources such as MBPHM and Malaysian Standard for Islamic Consumer Goods Part 1, which is for cosmetics and personal care. In the guidelines, there are 5 sources of halal cosmetics and personal care according to the Malaysian Standard for Islamic Consumer Goods Part 1. Number 1 is land and aquatic animals. For land animals, sources derived from halal land animals and slaughtered in accordance to Sharia law are halal except for the animals that is prohibited in the Quran. Sources derived from land animals' fur, hair, and related material which were harvested while the animals are still alive are halal. Sources derived from the eggs that are from the animals which are not deemed as najis are also considered halal. For aquatic animals, all aquatic animals that are halal for consumption may be the sources for cosmetics and personal care. Number 2 is plants and microorganisms. Sources derived from plants and microorganisms on land, air, and water are all halal to be used except those that are hazardous and mixed with najis. Number 3 is soil and water, which is all sources from the soil and water and its byproducts, including minerals, are halal for use except that are hazardous or mixed with materials that are decreed as najis. Number 4 is alcohol. Any materials for cosmetics and personal care that contains alcohol, excluding alcoholic drinks, which is hamar, are allowed. Number 5 is synthetic. Synthetic materials used for cosmetics and personal care produced synthetically are halal except those materials that are hazardous or mixed materials that decreed as najis.
Now we look on the requirement for the products. We will discuss about the product safety and halal assurance for cosmetic and personal care products. So, what is product safety for cosmetic? According to European Union's 2009, product safety for cosmetic means any products or substances that intended to be used at the external part of human body or at the teeth and the mucous membranes of the oral cavity, which is in order to cleaning, perfuming, changing appearance, preserving, keeping in a good condition, protecting or correcting body odor, that must safe for consumption and not cause any damage on human health when applied normally or reasonably. Now we look at the product safety for cosmetic and personal care products. NPRA, which is National Pharmaceutical Regulatory Agency, Ministry of Health Malaysia, has provided a guideline to produce the safe cosmetic and personal care products. So, the first methods or guidelines to ensure the product safety is about the raw materials. When we talk about the product safety, it will surely related with the selections of raw materials. So, the cosmetic and personal care product must not contain any prohibited substances as been stated in Article 2, Part 1 in Asian Cosmetic Directive. They have listed about 1,391 prohibited substances like aminophylines, azelaic acids, theophylline, methylene, and carbutamide. So, what is aminophylines? Aminophylines is functioning to relaxing the muscle that been used for slimming cream products. Based on experiment conducted, there are no results and proof that show the aminophylines will help to reduce the body size. However, there are lots of this product that escape from the Food and Drug Regulations (FDA) and they freely marketed at the market. These products also able to cause into long-term side effects, especially for patients with circulatory functioning problem, elderly patients, and seizure disorder patients. Next, what is azelaic acid? Azelaic acid is functioning for skin care like to treat the skin condition acne, clearing pores, skin whitening, reducing inflammations, and reducing acne scars. However, in order to use azelaic acid as a part of cosmetic and personal care products, the manufacturers must get the approval from the Food and Drug Administration (FDA). It is because FDA need to control the usage of azelaic acid because it also possible to cause several side effects like skin burning, skin tingling, peeling skin, redness, skin dryness, blistering, flaking skin, and irritation. The other method is the critical raw materials need to follow the usage guidelines as be stated in Annex 3, that's about the list of substances which cosmetic products must not contain except subject to restrictions and conditions. The critical raw materials like tetraborates, phenylenediamines, and hydroquinone. So, every substances will have its own guidelines like tetraborates only can be used in 18% for bath products and 8% for hair products, and that products cannot be used by children under 3 years old. Hydroquinone is functioning as a skin lightening agent and the maximum of its usage is in product is 0.02% only. Then the product that use these critical substances also need to be mentioned about the usage guideline at the product labeling, like it must be avoid from the skin contact, consumer need to read the direction before use, it able to cause allergic reactions, and any other possible. The next method to ensure the product safety is the cosmetic and personal care product must not poisonous, as been stated in Poison Act 1952 under Section 11. It stated that no preparation containing any poison shall be manufactured otherwise than in accordance with the regulations made under this Act. Then, the industry also needs to use an appropriate labeling. The requirements for good labeling has been put in the Annex 1 Part 7 in the Asian Cosmetic Directives. Then, the industry also able to conduct the corrective action. What is corrective action? Corrective action is the action to eliminate the cause of a detected non-conformity or other non-desirable situation. So, in order to detect the NC, the industry can conduct the internal audit. When the non-compliance is detected, so the company can take a corrective action immediately. It will ensure that all the finished product has been meet the requirements and safe for use. The last method to preserve the product is the industry can undergo the product quality testing like microbiological testing, stability testing, safety and toxicological testing, performance testing, and compatibility testing. Microbiological testing to the product is to determine the existence of any microbes at the cosmetic and personal care products like molds, yeast, bacteria, and staphylococcus. These microbes are able to exist at the cosmetic and personal care product is due to the contents of the product itself. That's the microorganism needs to grow, like protein, vitamin, sugar, oils, water, pH value, and humidity. The methods of microbiological testing is the product will be mixed with the microbes and will be kept for certain period, either 2 days, 7 days, 14 days, or 28 days. At the end of the periods, if the result show that the microbe is still remain either in the same amount or increase or decrease, the products will be classified as unsafe for consumption. So there is must no existent or no microbial remain at the cosmetic and personal care products. Then, the other type of product testing is stability testing. Stability testing is a test that be conducted to examine the ability of the products to keep safe for use under appropriate conditions. The cosmetic and personal care product will undergo a test by being put at the different conditions, either hot temperature, cold temperature, neutral temperature, or others. If there are no change at the product after being put at the different temperature, the product can be classified as safe. This testing also used to determine the shelf life and the storage method for the product. Okay, now we go to the next slide, which is about the halal assurance for cosmetic and personal care products. MS 2200 Part 1 2008, which is about cosmetic and personal care, has stated about definition of halal cosmetic and personal care. It stated that halal cosmetic and personal care are the products that are permitted under the Sharia law and fulfill the regulation that been laid down. So, what has been laid down? First, the cosmetic and personal care product must not contain any human parts and human derivatives like collagen extract, human placenta, fetus, and lecithin. Then, the product must not contain any forbidden animal by Islamic law, which is haram. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya ayyuhalladzina amanu awfu bil uqud. Uhillat lakum bahimatul an'ami illa ma yutla alaikum ghayra muhillis saydi wa antum hurum. Innallaha yahkumu ma yurid. And then, in the same surah, but at the verse 3, Allah has stated about the haram animals. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hurimat alaikumul maitatu wad damu wa lahmul khinzir وما أهل لغير الله به والمنخنقة والموقوذة والمتردية والنطيحة وما أكل السبع إلا ما ذكيتم وما ذبح على النصب وأن تستقسموا بالأزلام. Then, the products must not contain any nuts or not be prepared using equipment and utensils that have been contaminated with nuts. After that, the cosmetic and personal care product must not harm the consumers during its usage. There are one hadith that said, La darar wa la dirar, which means do not inflict injury and no repair one injury with another. Then, the processing line, tools and utensils must be dedicated for halal production only. The industries are not allowed to produce both halal and non-halal products by using the same processing line, the same tools and the same utensils in order to avoid for any contamination and to preserve the halal integrity. And lastly, the industries must not use an appliance or brush from animal hair. There are two types of brush, which is natural brush and synthetic brush. Natural brush, or also known as animal brush, is the critical item and need to be avoided because mostly the sources of the animal brush is made from the haram animals like pig. So it is prohibited to use the brush that made from the natural sources.
So now we go to the new slide, which is transportation. So what is transportation? Okay, transportation is the movement of humans, animals, and goods from one location to another. In other words, the action of transport is defined as a particular movement of an organism or thing from a point A to a point of B. Mode of transportation such as air, land, water, cable, pipeline, and space. Okay, Ustad, now we go to the next slide, which is critical control point in transportations. Okay, the hazard strategy deals with health hazards for consumers emanating from foodstuffs. The strategy is used to identify health hazard and assess the likelihood of the hazard actually occurring. This then forms the basis for drawing up preventive measures. So as we know, critical control point is preventive measure to prevent our product is contaminated with hazard and to ensure the product and ingredient is safe for consumption within the transportation process. Okay, so now what step that must be applied in transportation in terms of critical control point, which is firstly, personal hygiene in transportation must be established. As we know, hygiene is very important to ensure our product is safe and far from contaminations. And next, the cosmetics that are being transported must be put into temporary storage by logistic provider before they are sent out to the customer. This is mean to ensure that the product is safe and still have a quality to ensure and to prevent the product becomes spoiled. And then cleanliness must be applied to the entire trailer. This is very important to ensure that the product is always safe, always clean, and always hygiene. And then during unloading, the driver must keep the doors of the trailer shut for as long as possible. And then after that, regular checking of temperature indicator on the trailer. And then selection of an appropriate parking space, and then ensure confirmation of correct delivery. So to ensure that the product is really delivered to the right. And now we go to the suggestion for halal integrity to ensure that halal is established and implemented to avoid something harmful in the product during the transportation process. So as we know, halal is something that permitted by the lawgiver. So first suggestion is all goods transport shall be only halal good and halal product, which is no mixings of halal products with non-halal good. This is very important because we cannot mix halal good and non-halal good to prevent cross-contamination between the halal item and the halal and the non-halal product. This also to ensure that product is safe for consumption and not harmful. And then, the transport also must be cleaned before use according to comply with the hygiene standard and according to the ritual cleansing in order to ensure the product that received by the customer or the seller is safe for consumption and avoid cross-contamination. And then we go to the next suggestion, which is all applicants shall have effective halal detection system. This means such as traceability. This is to ensure if have any problem or misleading statement regard to the status of the halal product, we can identify and take a corrective action to overcome that problem as soon as possible. And then, applicant also shall establish the halal assurance system, including the specific rules for worker and implement the good halal practice GHP. This is very important to avoid cross-contamination between the workers and product and to ensure the product is safe for consumption. And then, we go to the next suggestion, which is transportation or container which is doubtful about its halal status. It's mandatory to undergo surtu or ritualist cleanse before halal goods are stored in it. This is very important to ensure that there is no shubhah or to ensure that the status halal of the product is really reliable and trusted. Then the next suggestion, transportation also must have a good control and storage temperature suitable for the transporting halal good. This is very important to maintain the quality of the product to avoid spoilage. And then the next suggestion, halal shipment are provided with a tertiary packaging in case of mixes of halal and non-halal cargo in one container or transportation vehicle. So this point is to ensure if the product is mixed with the non-halal, the halal product must be provided with a tertiary packaging to ensure the status of halal and to avoid the cross-contamination between the non-halal and halal product.
Packaging and labeling is important to be identified as a product in marketing. The appearance of the product will promote the product itself. Labeling and packaging is very important in marketing. In addition, it is also helps to provide the information about the prospective customer. This function fulfills informative purpose of using a tag. Labeling of a product is a symbolic of identification, although there are several requirements to be followed in labeling and packaging a product. Move to the next slide. We go to the general requirement for packaging and labeling product, cosmetic and personal care. The following particulars shall appear on the outer packaging of cosmetic product. Firstly, the name of the cosmetic product or personal care and its function shall appear on the outer of the packaging unless it is clear from the presentation of the product. Name of the product means the name given to a cosmetic product. This may be an invented name that is together with a trademark or the brand. The packaging and labeling will encourage the customer to know more about the detail and information at the labeling. That's why first impression is very important at labeling and packaging style. Second, the company name and full address of the product where it is manufactured must be stated and present on the label of consumer inquiries. This information is really help the consumer to trace or doing some research regarding the product which is good or not for its consumption. Next, the full list of ingredients shall appear on the outer packaging of the product. The ingredient must be declared in descending order of weight at the time they are added. Example, perfume and aromatic composition and their raw material should be shown. Next, the country of the manufacturer. The company name and address should be updated the latest on and not using fake address. This also can help consumer to reach the company if there is any inquiry. Also, if it is imported product, state the country that manufacture the product. Next, the manufacturing batch number of the product should be shown at the packaging and labeling of the product. Next, the manufacturing or the expiry date of the product in clear terms. In example, month or year. The date shall be clearly expressed and shall consist either of the month and year or the day, month and year in that order. The date of minimum durability shall be the date until which this product, stored under appropriate condition, continues to fulfill its initial function and in particular remains in conformity with safety requirement. Next, special precaution to be observed in use, especially those listed in the column condition of use and warnings, which must be printed on the label in the annex, which must appear on the label as well as any special precautionary information on the. Next, we move to the halal requirement of packaging and labeling of the product, cosmetic and personal care. According to the manual procedure for Malaysia Halal Certification and BPHM, several requirements for halal packaging and labeling is firstly, every packaging label should be printed prominently, clearly and indelible. This is to show clearly about the content and the ingredient is halal and not use the shubha sources. Every label that printed show the right information and halal ingredient to avoid misunderstanding among the Muslim. Number 2, the packaging label should contain information according to the rules, act and related standards such as name of product, Malaysian halal logo with the Malaysian standard number and the file reference number, which is the last 10 digit. Next, net content shall be stated in metric measurement SI unit. Name and address of the manufacturer, importer or distributor and its trademark. Then, list of ingredients should be appear on the packaging and labeling. Next, coding number to show the date and production batch number, also the expiry date of a product. Next, the country of origin. Number 3, labeling and advertising shall not contravene the principle of Sharia law and shall not highlight indecency which contradict the Sharia law. Number 4, the Malaysian halal logo cannot be used on promotional products in conjunction with non-Islamic religious festival or together with non-Islamic religious emblem, such as the issue of the mineral water, which is show the picture of the god within the. And lastly, the packaging material shall not be made from material which are classified as najis.